Thank you for joining me for the reading. I've laid out the cards, and I do apologize for the glare. I have the curtains open. Um, but the first one here, and also I kind of offset the cards to accommodate the angle from the camera to sort of get you the best view of the cards possible for the frame. But uh, so we start with the Nine of Wands card, which is a card indicating respect and issues of respect maybe coming up in your life, whatever that means for you. You'll notice the defensive stance here with this figure in the foreground. Somebody who's on their guard. This person is somebody who has had to stand up for themselves in trying times, or they have struggled because they have not done so, and they may be thinking negativity about themselves. This is often referred to as the Wounded Warrior card. Wands is a fire sign too, so it is about passion and life force. And one of the major rules of life force and respect of life force is our ability or willingness to defend ourselves if attacked by others, physically or emotionally, spiritually, mentally. So this really is about standing up for yourself, holding your ground. And for a lot of people, that's difficult to do. You know, we just want to get along with people. We don't want the battles. Maybe if people would just stop arguing all the time, ... But sometimes that's just not good enough. As much as we wish for that, there are a lot of people that are going to fall into this, create a commotion. And that's part of your personal development, is saying, you know, that I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of being loved. I'm worthy of loving myself as well. And recognizing the relationship. People are always happiest if they are in a healthy relationship with themselves than if they have an unhealthy view of themselves. In terms of, say, pathological behaviors or behaviors that get people in trouble, you know, as far as health crises that may be self-inflicted, or such as bad eating leading to, you know, rotten teeth, or that sort of thing. But it really is a matter of self-care. In the first part, to take care of your body and respect that is the vehicle that walks your soul around the earth, or your consciousness, or your ability to think, which is such an unusual activity that it's hard to know exactly what thought is and where it comes from, and what that means. Is there a physical property to thought? Well, how would we measure that? What does that mean? So these are deep philosophical questions people have asked, you know, since there have been humans, really. It's part of who we are. Issues of dedication. You may be coming up on some issues of purpose. You'll notice here, even though this is some kind of a defensive gesture, we see ourselves moving into this bow and arrow here. What this looks like is, instead of using the bow and arrow as weaponry, this individual is using it to create music. And even though this is arrows, and this may indicate wind, I've also seen the same symbol for fire. So it still has an overlap of this passionate energy here. 9 is usually it's usually a pretty contented card. It's about coming out on the positive side of some sort of strife. And you're seeing this 2 in a row here. 2 9s. You may start seeing 9s on clocks and things. A lot of people are experiencing weird number phenomenon. And then we also see you coming up on a period of fulfillment and good health. So it seems like you've had some kind of trials, tribulations, challenges in your life, and you have recommitted yourself to your best purpose. Or maybe you're struggling with deciding what that would be. So a challenge leads you to a greater level of self-respect and also a dedication towards something new, some new pursuit or goal. Some of you may be making some level of career change, however minor or major that might be. You're defending yourself in the office. I'm getting a lot of office thought process here. Definitely choose your battles. But when you do choose your battles, which are the ones that you would you die on the hill for that issue? In that particular battle. What does that mean? But we have a fulfillment here. Whatever it is, your compass is on point. And it leads you to a place of health and well-being. Some of you may be making an actual decision to go into the health field, the health profession. And this is very definitely about determining who you want to be. It's like you recognize yourself for the first time in a long time because you've been going through a really major interpersonal, maybe not interpersonal, but a major personal change in your life in some way. You're metamorphosing, which is not surprising. A lot of creatures of the water do just that. If you think about a frog, and the frog, you think about their reproductive system and everything. In their lifetime, they breathe through both gills and lungs, right? When they're tadpoles, as to when they become frogs or... So you see fulfillment of some kind of a purpose here. It's really, really looking like a good time for your intellectual development. Like, you're doing something that you really feel is a good fit for you. And it is. 3 is a very stable number. And you're fulfilling some sort of a passion. So it really is about your personal journey and taking the right steps for you in that. The fox energy that we see here, Knight of Wands, is wands being fire again. Fox indicates craft of a sort. For some of you, this could be somebody coming into your life, possibly a player, not necessarily though. The next card coming up is the King of Wands. So it may be that it seems like that, but you find out that it's not. Look at this spread right here. We go from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands, and we see this healing symbol again. Some of you might be dating somebody who's in the medical profession, or you meet someone because you need help in the medical profession. And it leads to a partnership. Something random like that. Some of you, this is a romantic journey here. Now, this can be contention or strife or power or dominance. These snakes are wrapped around each other in a dominance display, not cooperation or let's build a ladder type behavior. This is some kind of this can also indicate a turning point of a kind. You have this fork here, kind of a wishbone, and you're waiting to see how your luck is going to go. They haven't broken off the wishbone yet to see who gets the bigger piece, or who breaks it here or there. But this looks like a development. Something that begins as a passionate thing grows into a romantic, committed thing of equality, not power struggle and dominance, but equality. It's like you fall in love with somebody as you get to know this person better. So that's great. Do expect that there may be some respect issues with this Fox Knight of Wands. Example, this person may want it casual and you're saying, no, I'm not going there. And don't go there. Tell this person no and set the boundary and you will get respect from them. it will take it from a simple player to an adult relationship of co-equals. Because when you say no to this person will see you as an equal. Ah, she's not a fool to be reckoned with. I got respect for her. I respect this person because they say, no, I'm not doing that. Right? So for some of you, it may be that you need to turn somebody down to go to bed with them in order to get them to respect you and see you as a co-equal that you actually can't have the relationship with. Like that person asked you because they wanted you to say no. It was like a test, kind of. Maybe not in a jerk way, but just to see who you are, and you passed the test. It's yeah. So yeah, some of you will be tested, I think. This is good too. Look at this. You have here the 5 of stones, and we do see some lightning and some weather. But you know, when we have respect issues with the fox who's trying to sneak one from the hen house over here, sometimes we just have to weather it out, shake our head, call our best friend. He or she's being an ass again. I don't know what's up with that. And with patience and instruction, Ten of Arrows, instruction, right? We see the metamorphosis of this situation from juvenile weirdness into adult companionship by instruction. Again, this is setting that boundary. We teach others how to treat us. So you insist that people respect you, and you'll weed out the people that ought to be gone from your life anyway. You can thank the universe for that. It'll protect you from yourself if you'll let it. Then the last card here, Knight of Cups, the salmon, we have attraction. This is about returning to the waters of your birth. Because the salmon does that. All summer long, what am I saying? Excuse me. All spring, from the time they mature, they go downstream. But then there comes a point when their biological rhythms, or whatever that is, spurs them on to swim upstream against the flowing river in an unbelievable display. I mean, they travel miles upon miles upon miles. These salmon, they leap up waterfalls even to return to the waters of their birth so that they can sow the seeds of the next generation. They lay their eggs and then they die. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to fall in love with a terminal patient here. God forbid. That's not what I'm getting at. But what I am getting at is this thing that's starting, and it could be somebody you knew before in this lifetime who's returning potentially. But I don't mean an ex. I'm not seeing it as being somebody with baggage with you. Like you might have been on a date or two and then it didn't take off anywhere, but that would be like the maximum. Not like it was a bitter battle at the end and then they come back in and, no, not like that. But there may be somebody or some kind of an influence that launches us off into your life. Like you have contact from someone who has a son or daughter your age. That kind of thing. Okay. And let's point out here too. Fulfillment, the reindeer pair, and salmon. We're seeing the King of Cups here, and you might think that that's a battle. But the book that accompanies the deck reminds us that with caribou, or members of the caribou family, such as reindeer, for one example, the males and the females both have antlers. So this is a male-female couple depicted in the card, not two males who are about to put their heads down and duke it out. The Knight of Cups denotes true love coming in, a true offer, an offer of true love from somebody with a pure heart, and that's to come. But you're kind of going to have to go through this. The person's awkward and they don't know how to be in a real relationship yet. Kind of. I don't mean that they don't really know how to be when they're in it, but maybe their approach might come off as a little immature and you feel like you have to teach them how to do. But I have to give them a little coaching, little tips. Here we have the dedication we were talking about. This is what you were thinking about. As you're getting to know this person, you're saying no to them. There still is some kind of a strong sexual attraction. And that's the King of Wands energy. I mean, you have to admit that does look kind of phallic. I mean, coming up there. We have this medical symbol right here. There's a word for that. I can't remember what that is right now. But we also have this someone's setting their mind or their intention. It's either him or you. It's kind of like you tell this person no, and that person, they're so attracted to you anyway. And they really, from that moment, they're like, bam, I respect this person. I respect her. And that's when he's like, I got to have it. And you guys are just really a good fit. A very good fit. How did I have that again? No. Put all these together. Anyway. So let's go ahead and pull a Sacred Traveler Oracle card. Oh, and I did not mention this at the beginning, but I meant to. We're working with the Greenwood Tarot. Same that I used last time. I really like these in the spring. And then I have the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. And it's weird. I do have decks that I prefer in certain seasons or under certain conditions or what have you. It just kind of works out that way, I guess. So what messages can Spirit give us, please? I really do appreciate the help that we get from our spirit guides and helpers, and just random things, random acts of luck and chance. It's wonderful. Okay, so we had a jumper. It is this card here, First Light, beginning a new cycle. So give me one moment to find that. First Light. A new day has begun in your life. You are at the beginning of a new cycle. It's time to release the old and start again. Wipe the slate clean. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships that no longer empower you, it's now time to set your sights on the future and let go of the past. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the Sacred Traveler faces east toward the sunrise and affirms that a new day and a new cycle have begun. New beginnings are often fraught with the unknown, yet the Sacred Traveler has observed on the extended journey that life goes in a cycle. In the cycle of life, the plants die in the autumn so there can be new birth in the spring. The sun rises and the sun sets. It's the universal dance of death and rebirth. There's a time to end and begin. In your life, it's the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. Face fear about the unknown and be willing to begin anew. You will succeed. Yes, take a chance on this new opportunity that's coming your way. Take a chance on it. It's really going to give you a brand new life, a rebirth in this situation, the equality in this situation. Some of you may be moving on from a job, but you had to set a boundary in that. You had to go through that. And you get what you want because you set the boundary of respect, whatever the personal issue is for you. Some of you, this is a romantic situation that I was talking about. Some of you, this is about a workplace boundary with someone, and you begin to start to work together better as a team. Remember, this could also be 2 males or 2 females, or a male and a female. So business, home and family life, romance, relationships, take it as it resonates. It will vary for each person.